trying to do one month, and it includes some of the things we could arrange.
When Dr. Beverly Hall became superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools in 1999, she faced a leadership crisis. Over 2/3 of her principals were retiring in the next 5 years, and there was a lack of high-quality candidates to fill new positions. That year, Dr. Hall oversaw the creation of SABLE, the Superintendent's Academy for Building Leaders in Education.
We wanted SABLE to provide an opportunity for us to identify potential leaders, link the training to the reality of Atlanta Public Schools, and then provide them the second year with an opportunity to be mentored by someone we viewed as a successful principal here in APS. And when they got there, if and when they became a principal, provide them with coaching for that first year.
Going into a school, what do you see in the way of a vision that's connected to the school district's vision? What do you see in the way of using data, using research-based practices and strategies inside the classroom that yield in student success? What physically on a day-to-day basis will you do in the school to make sure those things are happening? So being inside of SABLE gives you that knowledge base to do just that. And it's very exciting because, again, my goal is to one day become a principal, and I need that information to go in and do just that.
It's the knowledge.
SABLE works as a process annually. We recruit and screen for 20 candidates in the district that we believe are appropriate for this program. Whether they be a teacher or an assistant principal, whatever position they're in currently, our expectation is that they have actually done some leadership work. And one of the big criteria that these folks need to have in place is they have to have already attained their leadership certification. So our program, while it's focused on aspiring leaders, we are not trying to get them certified. We're taking people who have already taken that first step to say, I want to be a leader.
You learn a lot in a master's degree program and in all of your advanced education, but a lot of it is theory, a lot of it is you have some practicum experiences, but does it prepare you to actually jump into the mix when you are given the keys to a building? I was hoping that SABLE will provide me with more confidence, so when I get handed those keys, hopefully someday, I can jump in and have some ideas of where I'm headed.
In year one of the SABLE program, we start our work with the candidates really talking about issues of what we consider self-mastery.
The reflective pieces help you to really understand on a very intimate and personal level, am I ready for leadership, particularly within Atlanta Public Schools? Because of the vision of the school system, there's a lot of accountability around school-level leadership. There are high expectations around school-level leadership, and you have to know within yourself beyond a shadow of a doubt, am I really ready to move? Am I really ready to lead this effort at the school level?
What I've learned in SABLE has enormously impacted my growth to understand, first, do I want to be a leader? And then second, if I do want to be a leader, what exactly do I need to know? And how does that really impact change?
And then the last assumption about this, know that the whole change process is frustrating, it's exhausting, and it's messy. It's just like being married, if any of you in the room are married. Same deal. You know,
one of the most important elements of the SABLE program is the fact that the participants have such an opportunity to grow and develop. The opportunity to get effective feedback on their performance, the opportunity to be involved in experiences where they have to think and it has to challenge them.
They don't see the positive in the change.
Right. Because of funding, the students are grouped together.
You know, some people can just be coaxed along. Everybody doesn't have to be pushed.
Right.
It's not the usual just sit, get content material, and then come back and regurgitate it. It's what are you going to do with it? How does that make a difference in the building?
There's big pieces missing in my understanding.
There have been occasions where people who are in the first year apply for a principalship and get the principalship. The majority of candidates go through the full 2 years of the program, and at the end of the second year start to apply for promotional positions.
We're going to go over here.
Year 2 we call Learning in Action. And Learning in Action is really where they spend a great deal of time, individually, in small group and in large group, doing a lot of research gathering and specifically being assigned to a project that goes over the entire year.
Can there be an implementation drop?
The third year of SABLE is if someone graduates from SABLE and gets a principalship, we offer them an entire year of what we call executive coaching. One-on-one coaching with the instructors that they've had in the first 2 years.
And I'm there with them their first month that they're opening that school. They're standing in front of that faculty for the first time, and they're going back and saying, Dawn, I remember when we practiced what we were going to say in front of our first faculty, the very first day we stood in front of them, and it helped so much, Dawn, that we had practiced what we were going to say. You know, that's so fulfilling that you helped someone arrive at one of the most important days of their life.
We call it a very adaptive program because we look at what's going on strategically in the district to make a determination of whether or not we need to hone in specifically on certain leaders. For example, now and in the last 2 years, we're very concerned with middle school and high school transformation in our district, and secondary is a big focus for our work.
It's very difficult to get qualified or capable candidates for middle and high schools. And as we do our middle and high school transformation, which is our big initiative, we're not going to be successful if we don't have very good leaders in those buildings.
In this second year of SABLE, we are focusing on middle school and high school transformation because, once again, the research and the data across the nation shows that we need to do something differently, something more aggressive with that age group. And so we are trying to come up with somewhat of a prototype or a model based on significant proven research to work with that age group. So we're doing a lot of in-depth studying, a lot of school visits, trying to collect data, practical data, both qualitative and quantitative, to kind of support our work in SABLE.
This is okay? Okay, good. Guys, where are you all going with that hall pass?
As a principal, I know that I cannot do this work alone. SABLE allowed me to grow in becoming a facilitator.
It's a mock SAT.
It enhanced my skills of becoming a data-driven principal. We look at data for everything that we do. I remember cutting out programs because the data showed that the program wasn't working.
Since 2004, the graduation rate at Maynard Jackson High School has increased from 46% to 86%.
So SABLE taught me, number one, to have courage, and number two, to look at data to make decisions that will help students.
Michelle.
I really feel like a SABLE candidate gets a first row seat on everything that's going on in our district, and that puts them in a unique position when they wind up in the principalship, because they understand when they're asked to do something where it came from and where it's based in.
You're not a leader if when you leave the role, everything changes behind you. So we want to make sure that the school district continues to grow and continues to evolve, that this is not just a one-shot reform effort, but we want sustained growth across the district, and we want to continue this for a long time.
Now, when we do our interviews, particularly for elementary principals, the finalists will leave here, and we'll have 3 people who we're figuring out, now, they're all so good. What do we do?
You're at school today.
Very different standards. The language around instruction is different. Understanding what best practices look like in the classroom, understanding of how they should manage their time. And it's been an investment that has really paid dividends for us.